welcome back to your podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Beth Anne.
And I'm Kaylee.
And we're just kidding. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Beth Anne.
And we're so glad you're here. Hey, cowgirl.
How are you doing? The last app, I realized that I was a sec delayed on what was supposed to be spoken at the same time.
Okay.
And we're so glad you're here. It was like a
Were you listening back to the app? What do you listen on? Which platform?
Typically Apple Pood.
Oh.
But oftentimes I'll get on YouTube to watch.
So you do, okay. You don't have a Spotify.
I don't do Spotify anymore.
You do Apple Music.
I do Apple Music.
But everyone can do Apple Podcast.
Of course.
Comes free with the phone, right?
Yes.
Like, I think so.
I think so because I don't recall setting anything up for Apple Food.
I'm going to go ahead and give everyone the update that I know they want.
Do it.
I shared on last week's app that I was robbed, and it was very alarming because I was in my home, and if you don't know the story, I had taken my Tootie out in the morning. And
show them where Tootie is right now.
Oh, Tootie is in my bosom right there. Here, little teeny. He was all snuggled up, always. And anyway, so we had gone out in the morning, and my shoes were wet with dew and grass. And I was like, I'm not going to walk in to our his day with these. I'll leave them right at the doorstep.
Thank you, Kaylee. Also because you were getting in a rhythm of coming in with those dewy, grassy shoes, and you were trailing and tracking.
So I left them out there right at the doorstep. 4 horas later, I walk outside to take Mr. Pooty out again. Can't find my zapatos. Mis zapatos that I purchased 3 weeks prior had ran a tinkai, like they were stinky. Okay. And they were gone. They were nowhere to be found. So I look in the recycling bin. I look in the trash can. I look in the refrigerator. Anyone who listened to last week's episode is having deja vu right now, but like I had to set the scene. I gave the perpetrator 1 week's notice to return the shoes to me because, and this is what I must confess, I said that I had video footage of the perpetrator.
Which we do. Kaylee, stand firm 10 toes.
No, I just feel like the perpetrator is not listening to your podcast, but like all of my friends and family, people who genuinely care about me and would never steal from me, are listening.
Okay.
And I want you guys to know the truth is I never had, like I didn't have any kind of surveillance. This is the thing is if you're thinking about coming and stealing shoes off my doorstep again, one, they won't be there because I'll never do that again.
Ever.
If you want to come and steal anything else, now we do have full security surveillance.
Yeah.
But that is the truth.
Front
and so
and back.
when I posted on the neighborhood Facebook,
which the way I did not even know we had a neighborhood Facebook.
and you were quick to get on that hoe. The second half, because I'm like, okay, the kind of person that stole my shoes is not the kind of person that would be on the Facebook.
That's right.
The neighborhood Facebook. But also I kind of just wanted neighbors to know, hey, there's a thief. Anyway.
They were
pissed. The neighbors were pissed.
No, yeah.
They really were. Oh, and they were like, a week's, because I wrote on the Facebook post, I'm like, I'm giving the perpetrator a week's length to return the shoes before I return this into the police. And they're like, turn it in today. Go to the police. This is so scary. We have a thief. And like, it is.
It's very scary.
But the truth is, I was just trying to make them shiver in their britches.
I think it was a kid.
I think it was probably a kid. And this is the thing. If somebody needed a pair of shoes, like I will give them to you. You know what I mean?
But
we
it's
know
the fact
what
that
they were
cost
stolen
here.
Oh, that right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
You don't need a pair of shoes. I also thought a delivery driver. You know how they're always getting, because they could so easily at the same time they're putting a box down, because everyone knows you can see the Ring camera right there. So like you're assuming you're on camera.
Right.
They could have put a box down at the same time they grabbed shoes. I still think that that's nuts. So also, did you sit there like look at the size? Because you know I was making a joke about you being ugly Bigfoot. being a 10.5, but I'm actually
I think
an 11.
that they were a 10.5, but I can't remember because I bought them in store and I wore them out of the store. This is how excited I was about this pair of zapatos that were stolen from me. When I went and purchased them 2 weeks before my 10K, I wore them out of the store.
I know, Kaylee.
I don't remember if I got a 10 or a 10.5 because I feel like in my recent years between like ages 23 and 25, I'm all of a sudden a 10.5 now.
And 25. You turned 25 without me?
Oh, I meant 2020.
Holy smokes. I have not been looking forward to 25, by the way.
Racking up. No. No, but we'll get there. So,
okay,
I just felt like
you deserve that.
I didn't. And
I know your feet hurt.
So bad.
Yeah.
So I've been wearing flat as a flitter lifting shoes because I haven't come to terms with repurchasing. I am going to purchase a new pair. I pulled them up on Nordstrom yesterday. I can order them. They'll be here next week. Or do I just go in store? Like, I don't know.
Where's the nearest Nordstrom to us? I know we have Nordstrom Rack at the Mall of Jorge.
I was just going to like order them online.
Yeah, just order them.
And
it's too bad you don't know what size you got.
Well, and that's why I'm like, maybe I need to go in store.
Okay.
What I'm also torn between is, do I get the same color? Because that'll show them, can't get me down.
Right.
Or is that, I mean, it might honestly just be too traumatic. I don't want to think about that scenario every time I put my shoes on, but I kind of think about that scenario every day.
Regardless. Anyway. That's what I was going to say. I think you go, I almost said different, and then I wanted to say same. Do you like the other color choices?
Yes, there's some cream. And there's like white and blue. All gonna get so dirty, but I think the cream
looked so good on you though. Those specific ones you had.
I'll pray about it.
Okay. I think you do different color. I think you do a different color.
I think I have to do a different color. Also, those were the Brooks Glycerin. They were a new pair that came out. I think I want to try on these New Balances that I've been eyeing.
I heard you tell me that.
Well, I wore them. I wore a pair during 75 Hard, wore them into the dirt. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of thinking like, I loved those. I might need to revisit.
Someone at the Coof Shoot the other day was asking me about my Hokas. And
which
I
ones?
have the Clifton 10s. Maybe it was the 9s. Do you remember?
What color? I don't know what's what.
Oh,
the orange ones?
The light, the peach.
Of course.
They're very chunky and they're very oogly.
The long ones?
What's the boat shoes? I wear an 11.
The long ones.
So she was like, do you like those? I was like, they're so ugly. I was like, oh yeah, but I love them. I love them because like when I know that I'm going to be on my feet for a while, I'm going to be running errands, I need to have like a sturdy shoe I can trust and it's not going to hurt my back. I put them on. So it's like, how ugly are they if they make me feel good?
Oh, I'm not really worried about that.
But
I just want them to be comfy.
Of course. A great Hoka option is the Solimars. Love those are my white ones. You know, I actually
white with the blue and the gold?
Yes, no, they have no traction. They have no traction. I was slipping on like brick. That's how like no traction.
Was it raining outside?
I mean, I just don't even remember the circumstance. I just remember looking at them being like, these aren't even serving. Like, these aren't shoes anymore. Like, this is just like toe
I hate
covers.
that.
No, it wasn't the Solimar's fault. It was my fault because like I did
buy these grippy things you can put, specifically I got them for sandals, but you can put them on the bottom of your shoe to give you some stability.
Well, no, at that point, like if you need some grippy on the bottom of your tennis shoe,
you actually just need a new pair of shoes.
You actually just need a new pair. Also, tennis shoe or sneaker.
Tennis shoe.
Tennis shoe because a sneaker is like shoe game.
Skater boy.
And shoe game.
And shoe game.
Sneaker is like the 4s, the Jordans.
See you later.
Remember? Yeah. Jordans. Remember? Yeah. Our producer thinks I'm funny. Kaylee, at the studio the other day when we were shooting for... I'm gonna cry.
Did you say the Jors and the 4s? Also, I need to say,
wait, where did the foams go? Remember, like growing up, like
the foams, like the chunky ones.
Those were like the shoe to have. No, wait. Before you say what you need to say, I have to say something.
Go ahead.
When we were in the studio, and you look down at your dunks that we have, like probably 15 pairs of dunks, and you go, Beth Anne, what are these? Are these the Air Forces? I was panicking.
I don't know what's what.
I know you don't, but you've got to know the difference between an Air Force and a dunk.
Are they called the Air Force? Because that's like branch of the military.
Kaylee, I'm nervous.
Wait, are they called Air Forces? You're making me like, it's kind of like when you say a word too many times and it just doesn't feel right anymore. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's written on the shoe, like Air Force. But you can also just be like Forces.
So what did I have on?
You had on Dunks.
Okay. Thank you. I did because I'm just kind of a shoe game girly.
No, right. Those are sneakers.
Those are sneakers. Those are my sneakers.
Those are not tennis shoes.
Can we talk about what do you mean you're not creasing your shoes? What about when you step?
Yeah, that's
I don't.
And
never
I've tried, and I gave myself shins.
Walking on your heels.
Trying not to crease my shoes, literally gave myself shins.
It is disappointing because why do they like that? It makes such an evident crease.
You know, I've YouTubed it.
Okay.
Like how to walk without creasing your shoes. Because when you're spending your hard-earned money and you're like, these were like a couple $100, like you kind of start to get it. And then when you see the crease, you're like,
wow. And now it's there.
Like, that's gross. Yeah.
I think you could put like bubble wrap or something above your toes.
Kaylee?
What?
Bubble wrap. Pop. Who's making popcorn? Oh, it's the bubble wrap at the front of my shoe. And then I also felt bad for like YouTubing how to not crease your shoe when I saw someone talking about like, tell me you're poor without telling me you're poor just to get a new pair of shoes. Like, wait, you're scared of creasing your shoes? You can't get another pair? I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I can get another pair. You know, I can get another. Let me stand up. Straight.
Okay.
I can get another pair.
Okay. I understand buying an outfit, wearing it one time, selling it at Plato's. Shoes?
Oh yeah, no, they're getting worn.
You pack. Okay.
This is the thing with
when
shoes.
you go on a trip.
Okay.
For every outfit, I would say, if you're going on a week-long trip, 7 days, you're going to bring 10 outfits and you're going to bring 4 pairs of shoes.
That's about right.
Maybe 5 or 6.
I was going to say 5.
You're going to rewear what pair of shoes? What? Too many? Too many.
Too many pair of shoes.
See? Okay, sneakerhead. But for me, I'm thinking, I guess I'm just thinking tropical. And like different
sandals are skinny. So you can
sandals are skinny. You can just throw a bunch in. I want everybody to know, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you see me clinging to the back of the sofa. I'm not, well, I kind of am. We set up these mic stands because it was given a little scratchy, and I didn't want any listeners to think that we were oblivious to that. We knew. And just holding the mic, it gets a little too teensy. We get a little too excited. We get to rubbing around. So, yeah, we're back with the mic stands.
It's all good in this hood.
We are so happy.
There was something I was going to say about shoes. Oh, so the I can't think of the word I'm trying to get here, but the sequence of events with shoes, the
order of events,
the lifetime. I'll say what I'm trying to say, and then you can tell me like the right verbiage here. A shoe starts, it's brand new.
The lifetime of a shoe.
Sure. You don't wear a brand new shoe with a dinky outfit. You wear the brand new shoe with like a fire outfit. And then they get a little bit dirty. So then you're kind of like, okay, these are fine. I'll just like wear them with a bootcut jean because like they're still not, it's like they're a little dirty. Then it's like now they're dirty. They turn into like beaters. You just wear them when you're not trying to do too much, but you still like the shoe.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? And you're like, no, I'm not going to wear it. Like these are.
So anywhere in that mix, are you throwing in the washing machine or using like a magic eraser to help?
I used to throw them in the washing machine, and then they started to just like develop a smell after a while of like being wet and then dry, and then wet and then dry.
I don't know if the smell was coming from wet or dry.
Hey, bully.
Do you think the smell was coming from like stinky feet or no?
Kaylee, say stinky.
Stinky? What do you think?
It's so funny. No, they were coming from the wet and dry.
Okay.
They were. I'm serious. So anyway, that's just like the order of operations. There you go.
You go.
With the shoe.
PEMDAS.
And then you finally take the shoe to Plato's, or you trash the shoe when it's just far beyond making it
return.
Work. Hi, Fiona.
Okay. Just open it.
Yep.
Wow.
So I have to say it with your chest.
And I want you to get into it. Yeah.
If I'm taking my car to the car wash, that's because I ain't trying with the manual labor. Okay.
Course.
What do you mean it's not drying my car? And what do you mean I have to get out and dry it manually and use
grab a rag,
elbow grease so that it doesn't leave streaks? Seriously, what do you mean?
What are you talking about with my $28 a month membership?
$29.99. I don't know where you got 28. Did you get a discount?
I want to say you might have signed up for the premium, and I'm like one step below you. Do you get tire shine every time?
Good quest.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did look shiny, but maybe it's just because they're brand new tires. I needed tires so bad. You also hydroplaned the other day. Actually, a bunch of bad things happened to me. A couple of them we can't talk about on the pod for my own safety.
For actual and like legitimate legal reasons.
Mm-hmm. But I just need y'all to know.
It wouldn't be a bad thing to cover us in prayer over our safety. I'm just going to say that.
No, I'm literally just going to say that. Wherever the ringer's at, I'm inside of it. I also have a hair attached to my lips. I'm about to throw up here in like.
Oh, no worries. Yep. Grab it.
So had to get new tires because I hydroplaned the other day. It was very, very, very scary. I was on the way to get chicken wings. And
not a good time to hydroplane.
I got my lemon gnocchi, babe. Okay. Like we made it, like saving time. But I was going slow. So that's what was scary, is that my car couldn't handle going slow in the rain. 45, and I knew you were going to ask. Okay. And it was in a 55, so I mean like, yeah.
Yeah,
crawling. I was going very slow. And so I went and got an oil change. And I told the guy, hey, look, listen, I know I need new tires. I'll handle it in a minute. He calls me, Miss Brice, I can see the wire on one of your tires. Like, take down to the wire and put it in a literal sense for Miss Beth's tire. I don't know which one it was, but then I did some price match guarantees. and Discount Tire hooked me up.
Always.
Discount Tire is awesome because you can go to any Discount Tire wherever you are and always get a free rotation balance. You can always get help. Like, I don't know what all.
I think maybe lack of free rotation balance may have been what led to the wire appearing through the tire. Could I be right or wrong?
No, I learned because my car has 40-something thousand miles on it at this point, and it's the tires that it came with, that those particular tires that I had at that time only go up to, I don't even think they went up to 40,000. I got the Michelin, I think.
Gotcha.
I got the new ones, and those go up to like 50,000.
Love.
So I'm getting a bigger bang for my buck. No, Kaylee, I always did my rotation bow.
I just want to make sure. Sometimes you have to clarify when you're getting an oil change, like, do my rotation and bow.
Do my rotation and bow. And
bow.
So that's how I feel. And like, I don't dry my car every time either, by the way. I feel like I should say that. Like,
no, like I'm not going to hop out every time. I have to go.
I look and I'm like, oh no, like, do I see the marks from like where the water has like dripped?
Good news about our $29.99 membership. We can pop back tomorrow.
Oh, wait, I have to tell
you have to answer this?
Yes, this is the delivery number.
Oh, okay.
For our furniture.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
Okay, Monday, May 5th from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. is the window for them to come deliver. I believe it's the TV console and the coffee table.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed.
We're getting a TV console and a coffee table. Finally, we're making this living room cozy once more. They first got delivered a couple weeks ago, but the pieces were messed up and like they just had issues in transit. So
everything's piecing together, pun intended.
Of course. And we've done a really good job of keeping this couch covered because, you know, I was nervous with the dogs.
I love the sofa.
I do too. You know, I lounged on it.
We're going to share all the details about where everything's from soon.
Well, I'll just tell you.
Oh, okay.
Couches from Castlery.
Okay, couches from Castlery.
Everything is actually going to be from Castlery.
Yeah.
I wish I could see our cute little rug we have too. I'll post it on the gram.
Yes.
Yes, it's very gorgeous.
We'll shoot you a link.
Mm-hmm.
An affiliate.
Shirley.
It won't be affiliate, but.
Dirty Shirley. That's what
we won't be getting any kickback, just if you want it.
Yeah.
Will we?
Where are we going for dinner tonight? Do you know?
No.
We are going, well, by the time this ep comes out, so today's
we'll be back,
Friday, so we'll be back in this show by the time the ep comes out, because over the weekend, we're going on like a little family getaway. If you don't know, our brother plays in the CFL, which is the Canadian Football League. He's there about half the year. He's here at home in Georgia half the year. And so before he goes back next week, we're going to have a little family moment, get some family pictures. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be
awesome. I'm so excited for me, you, and Mom to lounge by the pool.
Yeah. And we're going to do Mom's makeup.
Yes. I really can't wait. I opened new products this morning.
Good.
And I did, Mr. Tootie's snoring. And I did, I used some of them on my own, of course. And I'm going to pack them.
Okay. And we can bring a little bag with everything. Like, we don't have to put it all in our makeup bag because it's not going to fit. Like, we can bring specific products for mom, like in a little tote. Also, we can talk about this off the page. Sorry about that. Did you have to say it with your chest?
Of course I did.
Let me hear it.
And if you don't relate to this, I don't have anything for you.
You're just not relatable.
Okay. It's time to throw fake planning out the window. If you haven't seen somebody in a long time and you're like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much, we have to get together soon, but you know in your heart of hearts you have no intention of getting together, let's just cut that last sentence of we have to see each other soon. Because if you're thinking about, yeah, you really would like to see them, but this week is crazy, next week is crazy. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be able to see these people for 2 more months. How about love you and miss you, hope you're doing well. Think about you all the time. Or when life slows down, let's catch up.
You lay it out. I'm busy this week. Next week is literally insane. I don't see anything clearing up until, for example, June 1st. So let's plan for that week.
I'm guilty of it too, believe me, you.
But I'm mindful of reaching out. Because if I know that I cannot hang out soon, like genuinely, I just know, like, okay, I literally cannot. I might still reach out, but I'm going to let you know that.
It's hey, I'm thinking about you were on my mind. I love you so much.
Yeah. That's right. That's a great say it with your chest because it's so like
I'm kind of losing respect for those people that just put words in the air and never have any intention or follow through behind it. Okay. So
miss you. You've given zero effort.
You just talk to hear your own voice. You just type to use your thumbs. Like,
it just like feels lousy.
It feels so lousy. I can't stand unintentionality and just saying it to say it. I just can't stand it. It's unattractive and it's icky.
And you and I will say, like, if we're in a group message, I'll always say, okay, Kaylee, if you're responding right now, make sure you give an exact date and time of when we can hang out. Of course. Or like give options. And you'll say the same thing to me. Like, Beth Anne, you know we can't hang out this week or next. So, like, let's think about when we really can. And we sit there and we come up with an actual time to offer because you want someone to offer up a time that they avail.
Not just, let me know when you're avail. If you're going to say, let me know when you're avail, you give your availability first.
Of course.
I would love to do dinner maybe next Tuesday May 13th or June 15th. Let me know if any of those dates work for you. We can work something out. Okay.
Obsessed.
Those are great. Stop fake planning. You're not planning. You don't mean it.
No.
You were just kidding. But now I don't like you and I don't want to see you because I just feel like you're so fake.
So fake. I need it on a t-shirt. Stop fake planning.
Stop fake planning.
Yeah. Are you a fake planner? You know, like that might be one of my new questions that I ask.
If we're sitting around the bonfire or the dinner table and we're talking about our next trip, are you just planning it? I'm sorry. Are you just saying it to go along with the conversation? Because let's talk about something else.
Yeah. And also, we're being serious. Like, if we're talking about a trip,
we're taking on that trip. I'm taking that trip.
I'm already thinking about outfits, babe.
I'm there.
I'm being serial. And I'm getting so excited for that trip. Y'all, we're going on a trip with these 2 families that we used to babysit for. And we were always just really, really close.
We love them so much.
We love them so much. We didn't have to try to get close with them. It was just very natural, like just seamless friendship. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're going in June.
Yes!
We've been wanting to go for a few years, but this is the first time that, like, we actually made it happen. Here we go. I guess we were fake planners in the past.
We were a little bit of fake planners and a little bit of schedules just did not align. But for us, we really planned it in advance. Even though we only booked it maybe 2 months ago, the trip is in June. I mean, that's a huge planning. They planned it, I think, a year ago, probably.
Yeah.
And I respect people who can do that. We're just always those people where something's going to come up or something does come up or something, you know, and we have priorities. So if something were to come up that I would rather do, but I've already planned something else, I'm going to do the thing that I planned.
That's right.
There's nothing I would rather do than this trip. I'm so freaking excited.
I'm so freaking excited. We're going to the
We're going to the Dominican
Republic.
Yes. And these 2 families have gone several years and they absolutely love it. So I'm really excited because I totally trust their.
I know. And
it honestly doesn't matter. We could be in a cardboard box with them. We'd have so much fun.
We're going to laugh so hard. But I was going to say, I do love going places where at least 1 or 2 other people have already been. And then so they have the experience. They kind of know where to go, where not to go. Just like great suggestions. Really get the biggest bang for your buck and like go to the hot spots type of thing.
Of course.
Even though like the main hot spot will be like laying my bosom. So Oh.
So I can't wait. I'm sorry. I had a belch.
Indigestion.
I'm drinking an energy drink out of my BrewMate, not Wood Trap.
Mm-hmm.
And the carbonate, excuse me.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Kaylee, you're only human.
This always happens to me because I'm always drinking something carbonated, something that's giving me heartburn.
You know what has really helped my indigestion? I posted about it on my Instagram story the other day. So Bio-Optimizers, if you look right over there, I have them all set up.
Yeah.
Their magnesium breakthrough. Fire. If you want the best sleep of your life, magnesium breakthrough. Okay. And then the Massizymes, you take 3, serving size 3 little capsules, and it really helps to break down proteins and it helps with indigestion. So yeah, we have like anyone that has a high protein diet, you know, Kaylee and I have been on this journey. I'm eating specifically 168 grams of protein every day. I think you're 170 grams. Yeah. So you know, that just really full, heavy feeling you get after eating a very high protein meal. Not that you feel gross. It's different than like pigging out on a bunch of carbs, but like, you know, just high protein, like, yeah, it's healthy, but it's heavy, right? Really helps to break that down. So you should
need to start taking them.
Just take them with me.
My stomach was feeling twisty-turvy last night.
Was it?
I don't know if it was the chorizo tab.
You didn't tell me. When did you start to feel that way?
Oh, it was boobly. It was bad, but it passed.
My stomach was hurting last night too.
Really?
I almost thought I was getting sick.
I mean, we went to Mexican. Of course, we took our Quest protein chips always. So that was nothing new. I did get crazy and do Mexican tacos with the corn tortillas instead of fajitas.
I never even asked how they were
delicious.
Okay.
I was craving. Oh my God, I'm salivating
and that
talking
hot
about
sauce,
it. Yes, that's what I was craving, that hot sauce. I don't know what it was, but it passed. Thank goodness. And thank goodness I was by myself. Like, nobody needed to be around me for that. Anyway, we watched this past week on Netflix, The Good Nurse. And I don't think I realized that it was based on a true story. Maybe I did.
I was wondering as I was watching, is this based on a true story? And rather than looking it up, I just went with it.
Well, I think when I announced it last week on the Pood, I asked ChatGPT for a quick synopsis. And I think it probably did tell me that it was based on a true story. And so that's why I think that it wasn't suspenseful.
It didn't make us wonder.
It was like the producers just assumed you already knew the storyline. They were just showing it in movie-esque.
Well, after the movie, immediately what played after, because I got up to go TT, when I came back, something had already started, because you know you have like 5 seconds to pick something up.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the documentary of the real, so I saw the real Amy, and I saw the real
Charles.
Oh
Did he look like him?
A little bit. I mean, a little bit.
He was on a show that me and Gage watched, The Jackal.
I have never heard of that. I think it's so interesting when you watch.
He was a assassin in that show. Was it a movie? I think it was a show. It was a show. And so that was interesting.
Just a little. You can multitask while you watch this movie.
Yes, and I tried not to at first because I always want to give great feedback for the Pood.
Yep.
And I started realizing last night, I very much know what's going on. I just looked down at my phone for 5 minutes. Like, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
There was no suspense. It was okay.
It was just weird, honestly. Not the whole movie, but at the end, whenever Amy like grabbed his hand and was like trying to be sweet to him after he just admitted to killing all these people.
I know, but I think it was because she was trying to get him to admit why. So I learned that in the closing scenes of the movie, he never in real life, never admitted why he did that.
Over 400 people he killed.
Over
400 people. Shame on him, but shame on the hospitals. That
shame on
really
the hospitals.
Creeps me out.
Yeah.
That none of them.
They just fired him and never did a criminal investigation. Like what, y'all are scared of getting sued?
I don't understand why that would. I mean, yeah, I guess the hospital will get sued, but it's not your fault that he did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know exactly.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's a true story. Something that I did was count how many times while he was sitting at the interrogation table toward the end of the movie, how many times he screamed, I can't. He was saying, I can't, like he can't tell why he did it. I think there was another thing lacking for me is maybe I would have felt more closure and like, okay, that's a good story. I mean, horrible story. Just if we knew why. But I mean, in real life, he never even said why. So it's fine. I forgive the producers, but like, anyway.
He has an 18 life sentence,
18 consecutive life sentences in a row.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to get out in 2,400 and something. So none of us will be here to see it. But
I know we talked about like the chair and like taking matters into our own hands. And I made a comment.
He should have already gotten the chair or worse.
I know. I made a comment on the Pood where I was like, I don't think it's necessarily, not that I don't know if I said like it just isn't right, or it's like maybe not up to us. Like it's up to like the Lord and everything to take people home.
Or
I
worse.
would have set the chair up. Mm-hmm.
I would have set the
and
chair
I probably
up.
would have had a tool to take care of things myself before he even made it to the chair if I could have. That's how much hatred I have in my heart for this man's. But I just really find him so interesting and like how not persistent.
There was something.
The word where he literally did not ever say why he did it. That is like, what's the word? Besides unbelievable.
Besides mind-boggling. He really stuck to his guns.
Like, you never said.
He didn't fold.
I guess because he just was like, it doesn't matter. You already know I did it. It doesn't matter why I did it. It's for 400 people. Like, what are you going to do? Me tell you why I did it, and then you're going to what? I'm still in jail for 18 consecutive life sentences.
They made us think that it had something to do with his mom, a relationship with his mom or his ex-wife. Do you believe that it had children out there? That he actually had 2 daughters?
And then it's like, you never showed us the kids. That was interesting too.
Everything was so weird.
I don't know if he had kids or not. I didn't really listen much to the documentary. I went straight to bed. Mm-hmm. But I guess I could and then find out. I don't even know if he had 2 daughters. It doesn't matter. Just insane in the membrane, Kay.
I did get lost in the sauce.
Okay.
But I think he screamed, "I can't!" 23 times. That's how many I counted.
I actually muted.
Mm-hmm. It was so irritating.
It was infuriating.
I was just looking at the table. Looking at the TV. Like, you're so ugly.
Yeah.
You're so embarrassing.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace
to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And you ought to.
I wanted to throw him in a bathtub and hand him a toaster.
Ooh. Yes.
I don't know. Something worse.
But I want to throw him. I almost just said Den of Thieves. I thought that was like what we were going to watch this week, but we're not watching that.
We're not going to watch Den of Thieves 2. I mean, we might watch it. It's just that I looked up, why is it rated R? What are the vibes? And it does go with the F word about 110 times. And, it reaches a level where it's like, this is stupid. And you just sound uneducated, like say something else.
The F word isn't serving its purpose.
Like flavorful language can be so, funny sometimes, but overdone. Mm-hmm. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm irritated. Okay, so, what are we watching this week, babe?
This week, we are going to watch Havoc on Netflix. Okay. It's number 2 in movies today.
Obsessed. I think I've heard of it.
So we'll see. I think it's rated like TVMA. So who knows? But
what does that mean?
I've never understood. Mature audience. So if you're questioning your maturity levels, maybe stick this one out.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be put to the test. Your maturity is going to be put to the test.
So that is our Flicks and Feels. I guess we didn't really preface, but if you are new here to your podcast, Flicks and Feels is our movie segment where each week we pick a movie. We take some of y'all suggestions that you write into our email, which is yourpudcast@gmail.com, or we just find one that we're curious about. We like to watch movies that we've never seen before because duh.
Of course.
And anyway, so if you have a movie that you love and you want us to watch, or one that you just are interested in watching, write into us at yourpudcast@gmail.com.
Oink. I was pulling up
our next segment, Brice Advice, where, again, we have you guys write into our Gmail, yourpudcast@gmail.com, and ask for some advice you need from us. Friendships, relationships, family things, work things, life, fitness, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we'll try to help you out.
So here we go. Kaylee.
Do I need to buckle up?
I believe.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I.
Are you struggling with reading today, or did you get a notification on your phone?
Nope. I was just making sure that this is exactly where it starts. Okay. My boyfriend and I at the time, 2023, had been dating since 2020. We had the best relationship until the last 6 months. It started getting toxic, and I relied on his best friend of mine to always and I relied on this best friend of mine to always talk me through everything. And she was always there to tell me I needed to leave. Well, I met this best friend in 2022 when she started dating my brother. It was my brother's first relationship, so I was so excited, and me and this girl got extremely close. She was at my house every night to see my brother. We started hanging out, just us two. We went on double dates and everything else best friends would do. So again, the last 6 months of him and I's relationship was toxic, but she was always the first person I called to talk me through everything. In about January of 2023, her and my brother broke up and I was devastated. But her and I were still closer than ever, and I turned against my own brother to continue to be friends with her. So then in June of 2023, my boyfriend and I break up. It was toxic and just an extremely depressing thing for me. But again, she was there for me through it all and always told me how much of a POS he was, blah, blah, blah. So we are still best friends and she helped me get through the breakup. We had lots of sleepovers and did literally everything together. I started talking to the other guy I met when I was out of town visiting my sister. This was August of 2023. We are still dating now. So I ended up being out of town more on the weekends, but we still talked 24/7 and she knew everything about this new guy and we told each other absolutely everything. I thought. Until one day, my brother calls and says that my ex, who I also forgot to mention is one of my brother's friends, was seen alone at a restaurant with my best friend, my brother's ex. So I immediately call her. She says that that never happened and she doesn't know who would make up a lie like that. So of course, as her best friend, I believe her. Well, basically, I was extremely wrong, and they were talking the entire time throughout our breakup. They ended up dating at the end of July. So her and I stopped talking, of course. She tried apologizing and saying we can still continue with our friendship, and I responded with absolutely not because 1, that's my brother's friend. 2, that's my ex. 3, you were my best friend. And 4, we were always hanging out together on double dates and at my house, and then you just end up dating him? So the whole time I thought she was helping me through the breakup. She was really just trying to get me farther from him so she could get closer to him. So fast forward to now, April of 2025. My brother tells me that her and my ex broke up. I didn't think anything of it except I knew it would happen one day. 2 days ago, I received a long apology text claiming how she misses our friendship. I was the best thing she had in her life. She wants to talk through everything and make it work, etc. Part of me wants my best friend back, but part of me could never forgive her. We haven't talked since August of 2023, and I don't know if I could ever be close with her again or if I could just click with her like nothing happened. I still haven't responded to her apology text, but I know she is just apologizing because they broke up and she wants to be friends again. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. I can hear it. So this girl does not miss you. She does not miss the friendship. She doesn't like you. She doesn't obviously respect you.
I think that we don't know the interwebs of her and that guy's relationship. So what went down and maybe.
Okay, but also loneliness can.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think maybe in her time since the breakup, she's had time to reflect on how she handled the entire situation and maybe just what an amazing friend you were to her and how it did not make sense what she did. And she could be truly sorry. And so that's fine. She can be sorry and she can regret her decision and she can want you back as a friend because she probably does like you. She made a poor choice and she did not prioritize you. So that's where I would say she doesn't respect you. She may be sorry now, but what I think is enough time has gone on. And
2 years. You haven't spoken since 2023. Bye.
You have that little bit of piece of, okay, she apologized. Like, she knows it was wrong. And you have that little bit of peace, which I don't know if you really care about that, but it just kind of feel good to be like, yeah, you were wrong.
But it feels good to stick to a boundary also. Like,
it feels good to stick to a boundary.
She wasn't there for you whenever you were experiencing that through your breakup. It was heartbreak. Like, you and this guy, like, you probably loved him. Y'all had a toxic ending and everything like that. She wasn't there for you during that. She was very maliciously and meticulously plotting against you. And that's where the boundary gets put up. There's no forgiveness is fine. Absolutely. I forgive you.
I forgive you for doing that. I just don't trust you. I could never trust you again. I mean, what happens when you get a new boyfriend? What if she likes that boyfriend? What if she starts flirting with him? You'll never, there will always be that little bit of reservation. And I just don't think you need that in a friend.
And I don't think that she has to be friends with you to be better. She can go be better with a different friend. She can learn from this and
never do it again.
Never do it
with
again
someone else.
With someone else. It doesn't have to be, I'll never do this again to you. We should have never done it in the first place.
Agree.
I would have never done this to you. It's very disgusting behavior and she needs to experience consequences of her own actions. She has me very fired up.
Yeah,
she's
totally.
so disgusting.
I mean, it's really, really weird to date someone your friend dated.
Very.
You're weird.
Unless
I don't
y'all
trust.
are like in such undeniable love. I'm still.
Well, let's just say y'all did remain friends through all that, and it's just so weird for you, but y'all are still best friends, and they get married, and you're standing at the altar, and it's like, you're a bridesmaid. Okay, your friend is going to marry a person that you've
like, I just
already had a relationship. Like, it's just,
I just don't.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be marriage. Dating someone that your friend has already dated. Okay, so you just want to kiss that same person. Like, ew, go have a unique experience with somebody.
Go have a unique experience. There's so many people in the world, for crying out
loud. There's so many people in the world.
She should just really be ashamed. And like,
so should he.
She was the next best thing. You know what I mean? Like, he dated you. Y'all had this relationship. And then he was like, okay, like, I'll just date this girl. I already know her like pretty well. The whole thing. It's so.
And it's not like they are soulmates because they broke up. So it's just, no.
They're not soulmates. It's all very mature. Grow up.
Expand your horizon. Go find somebody.
Part of you wants your best friend back, but the other part of you could never forgive her. You just can't click with her like nothing happened. You can't. We've tried this. Yeah. We've tried. It's such an elephant in the room. It's so uncomfortable, and it's literally not worth it. There's so many other great girls, and I'm sure you've met them in the time frame of 2023 to 2025, that love you, care for you, and choose you, okay? Over some silly relationship that's going to last like,
what, 6 months, a year? Okay. And now you lost your lifelong best friend.
Yeah.
Bye.
And then that's just something that y'all can't even talk about. Bye, your life. That's just something that y'all can't even really talk about in y'all's friendship. Like, say y'all do become friends again. Okay, now there's this massive, like, it's two elephants now. We're dealing with two elephants because it's your relationship with your ex. You have this best friend, you want to be able to talk about anything. You want to be able to talk about like your ex and like how you're doing and recovering from that. And then she also has this experience with this same guy. So it's two things you already can't talk about. It's going to be all y'all are thinking about when you're hanging out. This is just so 10 feet under.
Don't do it.
Very.
Glad she apologized, but you're better off.
Grass is greener.
Who's the next batter up?
Next batter up is a queen. She is saying that her and her husband, they're in their early 30s. They were raised in the Catholic Church and come from very devout Catholic families. Over the years, I haven't felt a huge connection with my faith. It really just felt like I was going through the motions and not actually developing a relationship with God. While the Catholic Church is great for some, it just hasn't felt right for me for some time. After several conversations with my husband about this, he agreed that he had also felt this way. We tried other Catholic churches thinking we just needed something new in that aspect, but ultimately just stopped going because it felt more like a chore than anything. Recently, I felt a huge pull to go back to church. I just didn't know where to start. I messaged my cousin, who was also raised Catholic, and started asking her how she went from the faith we were raised in to a more non-denominational Christian church. She invited us to go to her church with her and her husband, so we did. We absolutely loved it. It's been years since I felt a connection with a message like I did that day. We intend to keep attending this church and see where it takes us as a family. They also have a great kids program for my 2 young children, which I'm obsessed with. My question is, I'm not sure how my mom is going to take it. I've mentioned my struggles with my Catholic faith to her before, and she would say, I just need to
try harder.
I'm sorry, I have to swipe. I need to start just putting them in my notes rather than
it's okay, I pulled swiping. It up on her email.
Okay. Yeah, and she would just say that I need to try harder. So I feel like us attending a non-denominational church isn't going to blow over well with her. How would you approach that conversation? Okay. I like what you said about the relationship part. And that's the point. It is relationship over religion.
Yeah.
And I think your mom asking you to try harder is completely missing the point. She's missing the mark altogether.
Because it's like, try harder for what? Try harder to like the rituals and the standing up and the sitting down and the confessing, and
that's not
try harder to
the point.
Play the part. Try harder. That's not the point.
You know the TikTok trend right now where it's like, I forgot this was the point.
Yeah.
I think that she definitely meant well by that, and
that's
she
how
was
she's
trying
been
to
raised
encourage you,
and that is fine. And everybody has their own personal walk. And that's a great point to this is everybody has their own personal walk. And her faith is not yours. Mm-hmm. And so what she understands and what she feels is not what you feel. And y'all are two separate people. And I would say, you know,
you can have a conviction that she's not. Like, I think you approach this and you speak to your personal experience of how you felt in the non-denominational churches you attended, how you felt closer to God, what you feel like the Lord is doing in your life.
Because the way that the message resonated with you and how powerful that was for you was not a coincidence. That's the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. And it's not about trying harder. I think that it's about meeting God in a way that feels real again, you know, that it gives you that reminder of like, oh, wait, yeah, this is why I'm a believer. I think that you pray before and after the conversation with your mom. I think that sometimes when we have these, not hostile, but you're fearing that something's going to get hostile, you tend to start a conversation off a little bit defensive. Mm-hmm. But I think if you go in gentle and calm and honestly, and you are being Christ-like, like I think a lot of this is going to be you showing and proving what the Lord is doing in your life, how he's softening your heart. You're not going to force her to understand what you're feeling, okay? Because like Kaylee said, y'all can be feeling two different things and your convictions are going to be different than her convictions. But I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that you love that's what we grew up in, was a non-denominational church. And it was like, you just go, we went to church with some of our Catholic friends and that was crazy. I didn't do leg day the rest of that week because I did my
standing up and sitting down.
Squatting. But no, I think it's great.
I read something the other day and I was trying to think of it word for word. It was something like, the point is not to come to Jesus perfect or come to Jesus whole, but through Jesus, he makes us whole.
Love and adore.
And I wish that I could find the exact thing. That's what I was just looking at on my phone. But just basically saying, I think depending on what you practice and what you believe, a big misconception is that you have to do all of these things to get to heaven, or you have to do all of these things to be right with God, whatever that looks like for you. And that is not the case. You can never do enough for Jesus because it's not about what we do. It's about what he did on the cross for us. Mm-hmm. And I think when you realize that, it's one, so overwhelming, the love that Jesus has for us. And I think that you really got a glimpse of that in the message. And I think you need to stick with it, going to that place, because that's where you feel the Holy Spirit and that's where you feel the Lord. And I did repost this on my Instagram story, actually, but it just says, religion is a man in church thinking about fishing. Relationship is a man out fishing thinking about God.
I loved that, Kaylee.
And it's like what Carlos said, I think we already mentioned on the Pood one week, but to take Jesus with you everywhere. Mm-hmm. When you get in your car, take him with you. When you go to the nail salon, take him with you. When you sit down in the coffee shop with a friend, take him with you. When you walk into your business meeting, when you go to give a presentation, take him with you.
And I think that this conversation with your mom is like the least of your worries, truly, if you really think about it, because what's important is your relationship with Jesus. What's important is believing and receiving. I think that you could go into this with love and honor. We are called to love our parents, or to honor our parents. I mean, like, of course, love, but honor our parents. And so you could thank her in this conversation. Like, thank you for getting me in church and setting the foundation, because that's what's drawing me back now. Because you got me into church, I remember the feeling of being close to God and like being around people that love God and want to know more. And so that's what I've been missing. So thank you, because I've been exploring my faith more and more. And like, this is where I feel closest to God right now. This is where I feel like
the Holy Spirit is working. This is where I'm feeling life change.
And she says that she loves that they have a great youth program, like for the kids. I think that's very important. And what's important to you doesn't have to be important to your mom. You know what I mean? I think it's more exciting than anything. Of course, it's going to be a little daunting. You don't want to disappoint her, but you're not disappointing the kingdom and you're not disappointing the Lord. And that's what's important.
Totally. Love it. We love you so much. Mm-hmm. We will lift you in prayer at the end of the episode about that conversation.
Yeah. And you just tell her that you respect her, you respect the Catholic Church, but you want to be obedient to God. And this is where you feel like he's pulling you and your family. And so you're going to walk in that. Isn't that true?
I love it. Our third and final Brice advice. Bring them out. Bring them out.
I forgot I had this one.
Go ahead.
I don't know. She's heavy. We can do.
There was a really interesting one that just got wrote in.
Oh. Okay, because I was deciding between two, but if you feel like this one.
Which one was the one you were thinking of?
We have someone in a relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
Okay. This girl thinks that her boyfriend or this guy, her date, might have killed off his cows.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a long one. And again, I just got this sent in the email, so I'm just going to read it all.
Okay.
She said this is a long one, but an interesting one, so strap in. So I met this guy on a Christian dating app. We started chatting on Monday, and by that afternoon, he had my number, and by that night, he asked if he could call me. Goodness. We ended up staying on the phone for an hour, and the conversation went really well. He seemed super normal and had a great sense of humor. He's a rancher from a nearby small town, and we love a country boy. We had a lot of things in common, too, which was nice. And he didn't give me the ick at all, which all the girlies know that's a win. By the next afternoon, he was already asking about us hanging out, and we planned the following evening. And I was super excited because he was being really intentional, and he wasn't just stringing me along. We were even texting throughout the day following our first phone call, and he joked with me about coming out on the ranch on my remote work days so we could hang out. I told him I probably wouldn't be able to until the following week, also because at this point this man is a stranger, and he replied saying, I'm sure we will be talking almost every day and be able to make something fun happen, but hopefully get a date or two before then, which I thought was sweet that he already saw potential in us. The next day rolls around and he asked me if I'd still be up for doing something that evening. Once I said yes, he asked me what I would like to do. So I responded that I was good with getting food. He said, okay, me too, I'd like that. After that, he asked me what kind of food I like, so I suggested a local place that's super chill that has a lot of different options. It's kind of like a food hall, very chill location for first date. He agreed, and we plan on meeting at 7 p.m. The day rolls around, and we both get there 15 minutes early. We stand in the parking lot for 30 minutes just yapping and having a great time. He hugged me when he first got there, and the vibes are really good. We finally start walking toward the restaurant, and he gets a phone call from a local number he doesn't recognize. He looks at his phone. He's like, that's weird, but it's probably just a spam call. I joke with him about how I get spam calls all the time. He gets another phone call from the same number within the next couple of seconds, so he says he feels like he should take it. He steps away from me for a minute and is on the phone. When he walks back over to me, he explains to me that it was the local police calling because someone had driven their truck through his fence line on his property and killed a couple of his cows and one of his new calves, which of course we both were really shocked by. Immediately, he asked when I was free again because the police needed him there to present his insurance, and he wanted to get some pictures of his own of what happened. When I started giving options of when we could hang out next, he said in the most defeated voice, "You actually will reschedule? You won't just say you will?" Okay, so he was scared you were fake planning. Mm-hmm. He was almost acting as if he's worried that I'll never want to see him again after this. I said, of course, this is not your fault. He starts explaining to me all the laundry list of things he's going to have to take care of since this happened. We started walking back toward our cars, and he talks to me for a little bit longer. He's basically just further explaining the situation. He hugged me and said he should probably head out. He texted me, "So sorry." And I responded, "It's okay. It's not your fault. I hope everything's okay." And he responded, "I appreciate that." I even was a little bold and texted him back and said, maybe I can call you later and you can fill me in on everything that happened. I didn't hear back from him for like an hour and a half, understandably so. He had a 30-minute drive home and dead cow carcasses to deal with, LOL. And when he finally responded, he said, "Yes, I will." Home stretch. Well, I never heard anything from him that night. Figured he was just busy. The next morning rolls around and he texts me, "Morning, King." First thing. So I texted him back, "Morning," which was our typical routine at this point. Day 4, LOL. I've yet to hear from this man since. Like, did he really just kill off his cows to get out of a date with me? My friends and I are holding out a little bit of hope still, as it's only been a day since I've heard from him at this point, and he seems so kind and disappointed when he had to leave. But I'm starting to feel like he would have reached out by now. Like, what in the world happened? Am I really that bad that this man had to go to the lengths of killing off his cows to leave my date? Oh my gosh, girl.
Is he crazy or are you crazy?
No, girl, you're being crazy. Well, you're being crazy.
No,
relax.
I think you're being crazy, but I also don't trust him.
He seems super thorough. They met on a Christian app. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's a good start, but you never know.
I'm so skept.
It's the way that he was really pursuing you. I'm feeling really encouraged by him. He might just have a lot on his hands. I mean, dead cow carcasses.
Of course.
He could be mourning.
He doesn't seem like the type to forget to call at night, though. He seems like he would say why he didn't. Like he
does, but it's been one day. 2 or 3 days could go by and he could be like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Things have been so crazy." And I would hear him out. Mm-hmm. don't freak out yet. There's nothing to be freaked out about.
Queen, you're prematurely freaking out.
You're prematurely freaking out. If you don't
No
hear
need to
from
freak out.
him in a week, don't text him. Don't do anything. You have to let it go.
Mhm.
I feel like you're not the type to want to let it go. I feel like you're going to want to text him. Just don't. Please don't.
I kind of cannot believe that you think that he killed off his cows to get out of a date with you. If anything, he just would have been lying about what it was. He just would have like had a friend call him like, hey, call me. I have to leave right now. Kaylee and I do this all the
Him
time.
ignoring the number the first time was a really good sign. He did not kill these cows on purpose. I feel awful for him and these cows.
You need to go on a walk. You need to go on a walk.
You need
and
to clear your head.
This is mumbo jumbo. This is jambalaya.
You're okay.
I know.
You are so okay. I think this is a great guy. He's going to text you or he's going to call you.
He
Please don't freak out.
absolutely is. You really thought you're crazy.
You're crazy.
And so are your friends. Y'all came up with this narrative.
Don't get me wrong, because if that happened, that sounds like a story that would happen to us. We go on a date and the guy's like, oh man, someone just drove through my pasture and killed my cows.
Yeah. I would probably
It
actually say the
sounds
same thing.
outlandish,
Yeah.
but according to the context you gave, I think that happened.
Mm-hmm. I think it
Wait,
happened
can you not
too.
just drive by and like go see the crime scene?
I think you need to pull up on a kid
I think you should
with
pull up on
some
a
banana bread
kid.
and be
Pull up-
like, didn't want to do too much, but
She might not have his address.
yeah.
You can find his address.
Don't pull up on a kid. That's
You
me
or one of your
talking too
scheming
prematurely.
friends can find his address. Don't pull up on a kid, but definitely pull up. Pull up and see if there was like any damage to a fence.
Do a drive-by.
Do a drive-by.
Do a drive-by.
I think you should.
Do a drive-by, but you're so crazy.
No, you're
Okay.
so funny.
No, you're hilarious. We would definitely giggle about this in person.
Of course. I just want to calm you down by saying, please.
And if you don't follow up, fired. What'd you say? If she doesn't follow up.
Fired. She's fired.
From writing into your podcast.
Oh, okay. Thank you for like. I was like, what's she fired from? Yeah, no, you have to follow up. Have to. Also, you know how we are. We want to put a face with the name. Please send us pictures. We want to see what it looks like.
Oh my gosh, you better.
I've been loving new submissions recently. People have just been going ahead and adding pictures. I know Miss Beth wants a face.
I know.
And guys, we're upset. Like,
No,
upset.
I got the
Not to
picture.
sound like the typical influencer that's like, I'm literally obsessed. No, I am.
I got the well, I guess I won't be specific about what picture I got, but like just know if you've sent pictures,
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm loving it's adding
Thank
to the
you.
lore, and I swear I haven't shown anyone. Literally just Kaylee and I.
No, of course.
Like we're being
Ruin
so
it.
honest, but thank you so much. It really helped, and truly, it's what I expected.
He did not kill off his cows.
No,
On purpose.
No, he didn't do it, but he might have been getting out of a date with you. You have to keep that option open. We don't want to give her too much hope.
Why would he show up? Unless he's like a real womanizer. And he really if it comes out in the wash that he really did just want to get out of a date, he fooled us. He showed up and ignored the first call. He might be smart. I don't know. I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Wait, what do you mean ignore the
I'm
first call?
spiraling.
What are you talking about? The first call. I thought she called.
Like he
I
was being
she
really
called.
convincing.
Okay, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Let's not think ourselves down this rabbit hole.
we'll
You've
talk
already
soon.
done it. I don't want to spiral, and I don't want you to any further.
Mm-mm.
He's going to call you or text you.
Of course.
Please don't worry about it.
Mm-mm. Get back on the app. Find someone in the meantime. It'd be great.
So, oh my gosh, this was so fun.
Thank you for coming to Dia.
Oh, thank you for having me
Mhm.
in our house.
Of course, always.
My tummy's rumbling. What are you thinking for a Maristo?
I
Oh my goodness, it's only 10:15 a.m. That's
yes, but it
crazy.
is lunch for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is.
I need a bite.
Well,
We have some prayer requests.
okay.
And we are always accepting prayer requests. You can write in to us at yourpudcast@gmail.com. I screenshotted a few. I kind of felt like I should give context before I pray
Okay.
of what's going on. We have a moomsie who's writing in to cover her mom, Karen, in prayer. A few months ago, she slipped on black ice and she shattered her tibia and her fibula. They've also found a cyst on her ovaries. It's twisted around the ovary. She's in a lot of pain and she needs surgery, and she's really anxious about it. So we're going to pray for her to be cancer-free. That's another thing that they're looking at, and that everything will go smoothly with the surgery. We're going to lift up Kinsey, who is on a pregnancy journey and is struggling with PCOS. And we're just going to lift her up and just trusting the Lord's timing with all of this, as well as the PCOS community and her family as they're rallying around her. And lastly, we are going to pray for Audrey, whose brother has been really, really sick from mold toxicity. He's lost the light in his eyes and his zest for life, is what she says. So that is really, really sad. We're going to lift him up, but she gets married next weekend. So we're going to pray for a perfect day for her.
Period. And pray for Big Daddy too.
Absolutely, I will. Hold my hand. Okay. Lord God, thank you so much for this morning with my twin sisty. Thank you, God, for waking us up this morning, feeling just rested and ready for another day. Lord, thank you so much for all of the opportunities that you've blessed us with and placed in front of us. Thank you for every listener and viewer. First, God, I want to lift up our Big Daddy, who has been in the hospital this last week, fighting pneumonia, fluid in his lungs. God, you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly what procedures that need to be done. And I pray, Lord, that you would just be with the doctors and give them all of the knowledge to perform these perfectly, that you would bring total health, healing, and restoration to him, Lord, that you would just allow him to breathe easier and rest. God, that you would just comfort Big Mama as she is there with him and be with our dad and just our entire family as we're so worried about him. We love him so much, God, and we know that you have a plan. I pray that you would just reveal that totally to the doctors. God, we pray for Karen, who shattered her tibia and her fibula, and she's recently found out about this cyst on her ovary. God, I just pray for her healing, Lord, that she would not have a cancer diagnosis, that she would have a perfectly performed surgery, that you would guide the surgeon's hands through this. Lord, that you would comfort her and Sydney and their family as they're navigating this time. God, I know they're so anxious about the surgery. I pray that you would just cover them in an overwhelming sense of divine peace. I pray for Kinsey, who is on her pregnancy journey, and she's sad and she's frustrated and she doesn't know your plan, God, but she knows that you have one and that it is perfect. And I pray that you would just remind her of that every single day, that you would give them their baby when the time is right. Lord, lastly, I pray for Audrey, and I pray that you would just be with her brother, who has been struggling so much with his health and it's just really taken a toll on him overall, God. And I pray that you would bring him healing and that you would just spark the life back into his eyes and just his excitement for every day, Lord, that you would restore every piece of him that he felt like he lost. I pray for her wedding day, God, that everything would just go smoothly. I pray for their marriage, Lord, that you would be at the center of it for the next 800 years. God, thank you so much for the opportunity we have to call on your name and to find peace and rest in you. Thank you so much for our family, for the way that we were raised to know you. I pray for our moomsie who wrote in, who's struggling with the conversation to have with her mom about going to a non-denominational church and feeling your presence, Lord, that you would speak through her. I pray that her mom would be well receiving and that you would just work in her heart. We love you so much. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
800 years.
Yeah.
For the next
That's like actually what she wrote
years.
in the email. Just like pray for our marriage for the next 800 years.
That is
Same.
awesome sauce.
You're awesome sauce.
Also, our Big Daddy is our grandpa.
Yes.
Our
Our Big
dad's
Daddy
dad.
is our dad's dad, and he has been really sick. He does for sure need a replacement of like the pig valve. It's all a little bit over my head, but he has had open heart surgeries, and they've got to go back in this year and really, really soon. So we just want to pray for his total healing.
I know. It
Brand
can
new
be shocking to be
from
like,
that.
pray for my Big Daddy. Like, who's Big Daddy?
Yes, our Big Daddy and Big Mama.
Love them so much. Okay. Well, guess what? We love ya.
And Jesus saves ya. Bye.
Oh, I did my
Oh, okay.